boy's so handsome. You see that picture? That boy's so handsome. Anyway, y'all, it's the show called Box Seats. Frank Holder sitting up here with you, getting ready to jump into the show. And today's show, as you all know, it's a comedy show where we talk about sports with comedians. First up is my man all the way from North Carolina, Kakalaki in Charlotte. It's my man, Talent. Talent, how you doing, bro?
Splendid, expected, man. Expected as could be. I'm that dude, man. You see the hat. See, I got the matching. I got the matching. It's just comedy hat with the hoodie. Juneteenth, baby.
And never miss it. Yo, I like
Come
that.
on, man.
Is that part of your that sweatshirt part of your entourage thing that you sell? You sell those?
Yeah, you see it. Just comedy on the front. Vote. You got vote. You know what I mean? You got my man Doug B. You got a Black Lives Matter on the joint. Yeah, it's all good. And people need to understand. Just because people stealing from Black Lives Matter, don't mean Black Lives don't matter.
Yeah.
Just don't send no money.
The jokes don't stop. All the way in from Connecticut, my man Fig. What's happening?
Hey, what the deal, man? Talent got it right, man. I thought he was in Pennsylvania. Now he's in North Carolina. We're going to have to start this new thing called Where's Talent?
It's wild, though.
Also coming in all the way from New Jersey. I think it's New Jersey. My man Mike Sean. Mike, what's happening?
Yo, number one, I love the hoodie. Just Talent. Don't buy the ice cream. Don't buy the Juneteenth ice cream. Number two, no matter what hotel Talent broadcast is from, that bed always looks like something just popped off. That's all I'm saying. It always looks like something just popped off.
I hate this guy. I hate this guy.
What's up, Fig?
Yo, God was my witness before I angled it. I went like this. I went, it don't look that bad.
You know the secret to that is, man, you ain't got to make the bed. All you got to do is just pull the blanket up, man. It looks fresh.
Yeah, I thought it looked fresh already.
Talon's bed looked like he just called over 3 of Deshaun Watson's girls.
Wow. And as long as we don't see those panties up there, we all right? We all right. All right, so let's get ready to jump into the show, man, because at the end of the day, we got a lot to cover. You know, I found today was one of those days. I just story after story after story after story. I found a couple of stories, and I was like, I want to discuss this with the guys and find out what the guys are thinking about. The first up is going to be kind of, I don't know, but depending on how you look at it. So I'm gonna throw it out to UT because I always start with you, man. And at the French Open, there is Romania's Irina Camelia Begu. She was throwing a temper tantrum. Tennis star throws a temper tantrum is normal. She throws her racket. It bounces off the ground and hits a child square in the head while she was throwing a temper tantrum during the match at the French Open. Happened yesterday afternoon. So people up there are upset because she wasn't disqualified. Now I'm gonna ask you, T. When a tennis player is throwing a temper tantrum, normal temper tantrum and everything else, we expect to see that. But when you hit a child in the audience, should that tennis player be disqualified? T? Talk to me. What you think?
No, they should not be disqualified. And let me say the reason that stand behind this is very personal and dear to my heart. I got in a fight with one of my ex-girlfriends, and the only thing around was the racket. And I didn't even throw it at her. I purposely threw it away from her to scare her. That bad boy popped up off of where I threw it and hit her in the head anyway. I said, God, you can't win for losing. So these things happen. Mike, don't do that. Don't cover your head, Mike. These things happen in the real life of things. So it's inadvertent. Don't get me wrong, there's some sort of accountability there. But disqualification, I don't think so. Because things happen. You inadvertently, you try to do one thing, the outcome becomes another thing. It ain't like if she threw it to hit the kid, then you suspend them because you're doing some outlandish stuff. But it's accidental.
Okay, so you were it's accidental.
Yeah,
Fig.
I didn't go to jail. That was the right call.
Okay, Fig.
What's the right
Fig. Vic, what's your take on this? Vic?
This is ridiculous, man. The only one that's supposed to be able to get away with stuff like that was John McEnroe. He's been retired for like 1,000 years. Yeah, man, this is pure and unadulterated racism. I forgot who it was. I think it was Venus or Serena got penalized because the beads in their braids came loose and fell on the court. And that was accidental. This woman, you mean to tell me, took a tennis racket and actually threw it and nobody penalized her for that? That's ridiculous. What is going on? Big X in the building.
Big X in the building. He says what he got to say. Mike Sean, talk to me, man. Tell me what your thoughts are about this, bro.
Let me tell you what my thoughts are.
Let me tell you.
How you 6'5" and you gonna throw a racket because you want it? That's something a 5'7" Puerto Rican does. He threw a racket. Like, you know what? Talent should be suspended from box seats for 2 days.
You know what? I'm gonna give Talent his suspension right about that. There you go. I took him out. He's suspended for literally 10 seconds.
No, I get the temper tantrum. I don't know. All I know, if this would have happened, like to a basketball player, and he would like bounce the ball crazy and he would have popped the kid in the face, like I think he would at least got a technical. Something would have happened. Like something would have happened. There would have been some ejection. Like the fact that you hit a kid. Now I know she didn't do it on purpose, but there's a lot of stuff people get in trouble for that they don't do on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you didn't mean to hit the kid, you hit the kid.
Yeah.
So, like I wish I knew how to. Look, congratulations, Frank, because I don't know how you pronounce that hoe's name because I can't pronounce it. I wish I could because I can't pronounce the name. But the fact that Talent used the racket to scare somebody is still hilarious.
But hold up. In my defense, in the back of what I'm saying, understand this. Even in real life, in the court of criminal law, sometimes people, they're driving a car and they hit somebody by accident and they end up hurting or killing the person. That's the reason that they don't get a murder charge and they get like vehicular manslaughter or something like that, something that's lesser. To my point, you hold them accountable. I just don't think the severity is that of suspension. That's a fine and getting money to the kid.
How about ejection? She had lost a point or something?
Ejection, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I tell you one thing is gonna happen. The parents of that kid is gonna have a big lawsuit that she getting her behind sued. Because you want to show up for a game, maybe you could get hit by a tennis ball. I mean, that's understandable. But a tennis racket, oh man, this is a whole different racket.
I'm just happy Talent wasn't dating a chick that played cricket. That's all I'm saying.
or baseball.
Hold on. How is my story from 30 plus years ago bigger than the story?
Because you brought it up.
You brought it up.
Statue of limitations, guys.
You ain't got no statues in your room.
All right, y'all. Let's get ready to jump into the next story, man, because the next story was the hottest story that just came in. After figured out.
No, Talent's story was the hottest story that just came in. That was
yesterday. Big story. This is the hottest story that came off the presses yesterday, because right now, after figured off the air yesterday, after we were doing box seats, immediately after we got off the air, the news was released that Colin Kaepernick is trying out for the Raiders. I think I know I was genuinely surprised. I ain't gonna lie, I was completely surprised. But Josh McDaniels is the new head coach over there. The owner said a couple of weeks, literally 3 weeks ago, he said he would give Colin Kaepernick a tryout and everything else. And they're doing it either today or tomorrow, but they're gonna try him out. My thing is, I'm gonna throw it out to you, T. My thing is, okay, do you expect him to actually make the team? And my thing also is, if he's going to do a trial, why not trade for Jimmy G? I mean, if you're going to get Colin Kaepernick, why not? If you're going to do some shuffling, why not try to get Jimmy G? You know, or guy from the Browns too. You know what I mean?
Well, here's a better question. Like, how much longer we got to sit through Kaepernick trials?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, how many seasons is he going? I mean, he going to keep coming back, trying out for these teams? You know, at some point, go start a business, man. Run your business.
Start a business.
Start a new pizza company, something. But here's the point. I think it's a possibility, Frank. Because somebody said, we were talking in the feed, the box seats feed yesterday, and somebody said to the point where the NFL is desperately looking to gain some footing on some optics, some positive optics, racial optics. So the biggest racial optic they can capture right now, to be honest with you, is Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. He started all of this. He pulled back the curtain to all of this. So imagine, here you go years later, not that you really want to, but now you're held over another hole. You're like, you know what? What's the greatest diversion right now? Because America's full of diversions. Once the heat get on, we need another diversion. What's the biggest diversion that football can have? Kaepernick getting the job.
Yeah, I definitely can see that happening. Also joining the show is my man, the business bully. Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate you. Coming to you in a second. Let me ask Fig. Fig, what's your take on this, bro?
Hey, man, talent is right. Like we were saying yesterday, man, on the feed, is that I think Brian Flores got the NFL shook, man. I mean, why else? Man, these billionaire owners were dug in deep. And they were talking about, we're not giving Kaepernick nothing. Look, we all know that he had the talent to play NFL football. I mean, it's just silly to say anything else, but they figured they was going to blackball him because he took a knee protesting, attacks on black people. And they didn't like it. So they blackballed him. I mean, like, you can't play in the NFL and no other team was going to hire him. And they made this smoke screen. And I don't know. Only thing I know is he's been out of the league about 6, maybe 7 years. And, after 7 years, you get a second chance. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the statute of limitations. After 7 years, you get a second chance. So it's close. It's close to the 7 years. So maybe that's why they want to give him a second chance.
Now it's a statute of limitation.
Yeah. It's a statute of limitation unless you're running a racket.
Mike, what's your take?
Dog, we had this conversation about like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I told you the team for him is the Raiders. That will be the hottest jersey in sports. A Kaepernick Raider jersey is going to be on fire, dog. That's like this, it's going to be dog. Matter of fact, even if you don't make the team, do me a favor, Raiders, just put the jersey out. Even if you don't make the team, just put the jersey out. The jersey's going to be fine. What everybody's saying is totally correct. The NFL is trying to clean this up. They're trying to do everything they can to get the pressure off. It ain't going to work. Brian Flores is still going to continue with the lawsuit. It ain't going to happen. And I hope he does get the job. By the way, business bully. Talent threatened somebody with a racket earlier in the show. I just want you to know that before you do your comment.
Hilarious. Business bully. Talk to me. What's your take on this? We'll tell you about the talent situation later.
Okay, so apologies for being late, but a couple of quick things. First things first, if this happens, and this is a huge if, right? It's like right up there with me being a Speedo model. It could happen, but it's kind of unlikely. If this happens, the only reason it would be the Raiders is because the Raiders has so much heat on it from the federal government that this is a welcome distraction. The other part of it is, the reason I think it's not going to happen is because the NFL caters to white men by using black men to entertain them. And the last thing that white folks want to admit is defeat. And so no. And they also count on the fact that black people only protest when it's convenient or when they're told to by the mainstream media.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, if Al Davis was alive, Kaepernick would be the starter. Forget the tryout. If Al Davis was alive, Kaepernick would be the starter of that team.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's exactly how they would do. Speaking of the Raiders, I don't know if you guys also said, because it's still in the news. It's still in the news. We're going to come to the NBA news in a second. Speaking of the Raiders and everything else, the judge recently denied the NFL because the NFL was trying to get a motion to dismiss John Gruden's lawsuit and everything else. But the judge said, no, it's not going to happen. It's moving to arbitration. We're going to definitely see what he has to say and why he says what he says and everything else. And John Gruden's lawsuit against the NFL is still moving forward. T, I'm going to ask you, what's your take on John Gruden's lawsuit still moving forward? You know what I mean, with the NFL?
Well, thank God. Thank God somebody got some sense in there and say, no, the days of sweeping stuff under the rug is over. Everybody get that day in court. Let's see what's really, hiding behind the wall, so to speak. Keep in mind, man, it's a statute of limitations on certain things. So we got to let things play out and do the due diligence of what it is. But I'm happy that it's going forward. I mean, everything else needs to come to the light. We in those days, man. We in the days where put it all out there. Whether it's a jury, whether it's a judge, whether it's the public fan, but let people decide whether some wrongdoing was actually done.
Okay, so that's T's take. Fig, what's your take, bro?
John Gruden is a victim. It was like I wasn't even the target of this investigation. How y'all think? I was just standing here. I was watching the fight. I just standing here. How I get punched in the face? I'm suing. He said I ain't even do nothing. He got those emails, man. John Gruden was in. He was in the facility, in the Raiders facility, with his mic, with his walkie-talkie, said, "Get them chains off the doors. The enemy is here." Fair East Side, but I don't know, man. That's what I got.
That's what he got. That's what he got. Okay, Mike, what you got?
All right, so let me get this straight. John Gruden has a lawsuit against the NFL, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is what happens when you leave somebody out there and we all part of the crew and we all been up to no good, and then y'all scapegoat me and y'all move me out, but yet the owner of the Commanders or whatever, the Washington team, is still chilling. Now I'm going to snitch. See, white people ain't got no problem with snitching. See, they got no problem with snitching, even mafia dudes. Only rappers are dumb enough to be mad about snitching. He is about to snitch and say, y'all want emails? I'm going to give you the emails I sent, and now I'm going to give you the emails I received, so we can all be clear that we were all calling people disrespectful racial slurs and all that good stuff, because Gruden knows he can't get back in the league. So now he's about to burn every bridge.
And you know what, Mike, and you know what the funny thing is, what Mike just said, the business bully? He wants to go on the stand. I think he wants to get on the stand and tell everybody everything. I think that's what he wants to do. The business bully, what's your take?
I'm going to say this to you, Frank, and I think it's very important that we have this conversation. A lot of times when you have absolutely nothing to lose, you become the most dangerous man in the room. John Gruden is such a man. John Gruden is taking a page out of one Tyler Perry's playbook. Have you ever seen the original Why Did I Get Married? There's an amazing monologue where Richard Jones tears down everybody at the table and says, okay, I'm the bad guy. Well, what about you? And remember what you did. And that's exactly what he's going to do at that stand, which is why the NFL was begging the judge just to let it go to binding arbitration. Because when you're an employer and there's binding arbitration, you are usually the one paying the arbitrator to see it how you want to see it. It's the same thing in entertainment. It happens all the time. So yeah, this is going to get ugly. So they might wind up signing Kaepernick so that this gets buried. Sort of like how, those kids in Texas, God bless their souls, are now the focus of the media, and nobody's talking about Buffalo anymore.
Yeah. And also to the business bully's point, and arbitration, let's not forget this fact either. And arbitration is behind closed doors. Nobody knows what goes on. You know what I mean? There's only the arbitrator, and you got the defendant, and you got the accuser. Like, there's nothing else going on. But if you moving on the trial, it's in front of the public. Everybody has to.
And you think Roger Goodell ain't got an email that got sent?
Right.
You think Roger Goodell ain't got a few emails that said a few slick things about people? Yeah. Oh, it's going down.
Yeah, it's definitely getting ready to be real ugly.
John Gruden is like, yo, y'all come out. They caught us. They got us.
He literally is. He literally do about all y'all come from us. Yeah, he literally about doing that. All right, so like I said, we get ready to jump into the NBA, man, and this is the thing. I'm happy about. I'm happy as a pig and clan. You know what I mean?
We know.
Yeah, you see that moving. I'm happy.
Everybody
ain't got to be as happy as me. That's all good. I'm gonna throw the T real fast, man. The Celtics are now one win away from going to the NBA Finals and everything else. The Miami Heat ended up collapsing in the third quarter yesterday, and one of the ugliest games I've seen in the NBA in a long time.
Oh my God!
It was the game. Nobody could hit nothing. They couldn't throw the ball until it started the third quarter, and then the Celtics went up by 23 in the fourth. The Celtics were able to put it together. T, what's your take on the Miami Heat right now? And I'm going to come back to ask you another question about the Miami Heat in a second. But what's your take on the Miami Heat right now, being one win away from being going home?
Well, I think that this is how the rest is going to play out. They're going to use these injuries to make it. That's the reasoning for it doing what it do. As we've been complaining game by game, oh, this game shouldn't have went that way. Oh, the refs did this, boom, boom. The justification now is going to be injuries. So I was just telling you off air, Frank, look out for who the next person that's going to miss games, because that's going to be the justification for stretching. Like right now, you know that Miami's kind of hobbled over there. You know, once you only go as far as your best player. Your best player is Jimmy Butler in Miami. And once he's hobbled and he's coming out there giving you 30 minutes with 6 points and stuff like that, you know where that game is most likely going to end up. But if I take a piece out of the other team, for example, not to wish bad on nobody injury-wise, but you see Jason keeps doing this with the shoulder. So we get the breaking news, Jason's not playing tonight. We already know that's going to tie the series and make it force a game 7. So look for that on both sides, East and West, to happen. Just, you know, for the rest of the all the way through the finals. This is the new thing. Injuries is the extra ref.
I'm praying nobody else gets injured, but both teams are injured right now and everything else, and it's a very ugly series. But Fig, what's your take on this?
Talent may be right, but the only problem with what he said, he only named one player. In order for the Boston to be even up with Miami, they need about 6 or 7 guys to go. They need Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown. They need everybody to get hurt. Everybody on the Miami Heat is injured right now, man. Tyler Hero can't play.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is got a hamstring. Jimmy Butler's got problems. The only healthy person on Miami team is the coach and Bam Adebayo. They ought to take this to the park and decide it by a 2-on-2. That's the only way that Miami got a chance to win this, man. Let me tell you something. It's over. The next game, it's a wrap, and we'll have about a week to wait until June 2nd when the finals actually starts. Because the truth of the matter is, with all them injuries, Miami can't win. As a matter of fact, it was going to be a close call with everybody healthy. But with Miami severely injured like that, they ain't got no chance against them young boys in Boston. They just don't.
All right, Mike, what's your take on the situation? What's happening?
I'm going to talk directly to you, Frank. Okay. Directly to you. Y'all better end this series in Boston. I'm going to tell y'all better end this series in Boston. Don't let this go to a game 7. We all know the NBA wants a game 7. We all know the NBA wants a game 7 in Miami. Y'all better end this. These guys, like everybody said, they hobbled, they hurt. This is the perfect Hollywood script that the NBA loves. Miami has no chance. That's what everybody's saying. Miami has no chance. Y'all better end this series in Boston, because if not, Jason Tatum will choke in game 7. So just make sure y'all win it. Make sure y'all win it. That's all I'm saying.
For the record, they are going to end it because I don't think they want to go back either. You know what I mean, Mike? Okay. Dave, what's your take of this, bro?
Bro, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Yeah, listen. I didn't realize that you could wrestle with just the basketball, because there is so much scripting and manipulation happening. There's going to be a game 7. It's inevitable. You know it. Like, I'm going to sit up here and reference The Rock at least once a show. So, see, there it is. Just like, set your watch to it. Let's get ready for game 7. It's going to happen.
Dave, you need this hat, man. You need this hat with that shirt.
I really do. I was looking at that hat like, yeah, I need to coordinate.
Yeah,
I also need a 2X. It's just comedy shirt, because the 4X I had, like, it don't fit no more.
Well, they come with new tennis rackets.
Yeah. He beat me to it.
I don't know. Only comics. Only comics. All right, so sticking with the NBA, I'm gonna throw this out to UT because this is something that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. The news came out yesterday from the Nets front office. From Chris Broussard came out and said that. Well, first let me just say this: when you have the NBA teams, when they lose or when the season's over, everybody has exit interviews. Everybody does. And every NBA team, every player has an exit interview to tell everybody what they thought of the season, et cetera, where they're going at with the contract, et cetera. Kevin Durant, Chris Broussard is literally reporting that Kevin Durant and the Nets front office haven't spoken since the last game. Walked out from there, haven't spoken, hasn't returned calls, hasn't done anything with the Brooklyn Nets. And the Brooklyn Nets are majorly concerned about Kevin Durant's mindset right now against the Brooklyn Nets and their front office. See, what's your take right now about this situation? Because I see the writing on the wall. What you see?
First of all, 2 shout outs. This is a good question. First of all, shout out to rest in peace. We lost Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow. Shout out to Chris Broussard, because people don't know it's a new comedy club opening in Brooklyn, and he's a top investor in that. So shout out to him. Anybody got something to do with the game of comedy, hats off, applaud. I think that he's doing some soul searching. The problem with coming in second is that you're always dreaming about number 1. Remember, the Knicks was number 1 on this list. The Knicks just didn't want to put that money out, knowing he's going to miss the whole season and don't know what Kevin Durant's going to come after the injury. So they weren't willing to gamble that far with him. And he took the side chick. He took chick number 2. So the problem with being chick number 2 is you always got a little something in here for chick number 1. And he's doing some soul searching right now. I guarantee you, to see what he can do regarding chick number 1 and chick number 2, because he laid it all out there. That's one thing about being the guy. You know, when you lay it all out there and the rest of your team somehow will come and do it, hold up their end of the bargain, you're like, dude, I made this move all the way from the West to, you can't get no more East than us. Can't get no more East than New York. All the way to the East, only to fall flat on expectations. He's like LeBron. LeBron went to Cancun. He went to Cancun. As soon as they was ousted, he didn't want to talk to nobody. He went to Cancun to party it up, throw a few drinks back. Something I don't do during the season. Kevin Durant is doing soul searching and mind searching right now. He's doing a mental Cancun. He might be leaving.
Yeah, that's my take. I think he's on his way out. Fig, what's your take on when you hear that Kevin Durant hasn't spoken to the front office during his exit interviews, hasn't returned calls, hasn't spoken to management, anything?
My thought is my first thought was maybe he's pissed off about the way they was talking about really not wanting Kyrie back, and that's supposed to be his boy. That's the first thing I thought. Now the second thing, after Talent came out with that Pelican brief, I'm wondering that if Kevin Durant really is soul searching about picking number 2 over number 1, because the whole NBA was talking about how they were going to the Knicks, and then the Knicks did a little something and they wasn't too sure, and he ended up with the side chick number 2, which was the Nets. But he also did that. He had the main chick in Golden State with Steph Curry, and he traded him in for the second one, which was Kyrie. There were 2 bad moves that he made. You don't trade Steph Curry and for Kyrie, and you got the whole Golden State solid front office to this whole Brooklyn thing. 2 bad moves. You could have been in New York, but you ended up with Brooklyn, and you could have been in Golden State with Steph Curry, but you ended up in Brooklyn with Kyrie. That's 2 bad moves. 3 strikes.
Yo, he's bro. He's that guy in the club. The number 2 guy got the girl in the club in VIP, and he's looking over. Why you keep looking over at this dude?
He's that dude.
That's number 1.
He's that dude. Mike Sean, what's your take on that, bro?
I'm so tired of Kevin Durant's passive aggressive ass. Be a goddamn man and say what you got to say. For once, don't get a burner account on Twitter. Don't run and say you cool with Draymond when we know you left Draymond because he punked you. If you got beef and you got something to say to that front office and there's a demand that you want to make the damn demand. Like, stop. It's always the same thing with him, yo. He leaves OKC and it's always quiet. Like, we never know is he mad? Is he not mad? If you pissed, say you pissed. Tell him what you want. Tell them who you need. If you're mad about the Kyrie Irving thing, say, listen, sign Kyrie Irving. Or if you want him traded, get him traded. But this whole thing that I'm not going to talk to people, you're a grown-ass man making hundreds of millions of dollars, and you acting like my girl. Like you're not going to pick up the phone now. Like enough's enough, dog. If you want something, tell them what you want. Because what's going to happen is that this is going to linger. Watch, mark my words. This is going to linger all summer long. This is going to linger all summer long. He ain't going to say nothing to nobody. And we'll be talking about what Kevin Durant wants. Well, Kev, tell us what you want.
Jesus on the main line. Tell them what you want.
Tell them what you want.
What you want? Oh, Jesus on the main line. That's hilarious, Fig. Frank, if I could just point out a few things. In Kevin Durant's defense, number one, this man brought home a gold medal. Number two, he happens to have, like, we don't make any space in this league for mental health, okay? This man is like Ralph Tresvant after an orgasm. He's extremely sensitive. And having been so sensitive, what's happened is he just wants the pieces put around him so that he can get the one thing that we all know he wants, a championship, a real championship with a team that will. Ain't nobody catering this. I tried. I tried. I can't cater to his ass. I just no, right? Like he wants Kyrie in place, and the Nets did make a huge mistake with this whole situation about like Fig wanted them to. All you got to do is get vaccinated, and everything's no. They treated Kyrie like trash, and the fact that they got swept out, and he has been watching the daggone playoffs since April 25th from the comfort of his own home, has made him have a lot of time on his hands to sit around and be messy. So yeah, not like he. Look, man, maybe he could take some time and brush his naps. I don't know. Like I got nothing for him.
Oh, that's love. That's love.
Sorry.
That's love. All right, so I'm gonna keep it going, man. I want to come back to the Brooklyn Nets in a second because obviously there's a Kyrie Irving news story that jumped off late last night too. I'm gonna come to that. But during the Miami Heat Celtics game last night, T, I'm gonna throw this out to you. I don't know if you saw this, but Joel Embiid was tweeting during the game, and he said Miami Heat needs a star. They need a big star and everything else. Everybody on the internet went and got upset. They caused a big concern and everything else. Joel Embiid, T, is in his final year of his contract. He's in one more. He got one more year left to go. Joel Embiid said several times he wouldn't mind playing with Jimmy Butler again. Cause for concern for Philadelphia 76ers fans, bro? What you think?
Hell yeah. First of all, if I'm Jimmy Butler, don't bring your ass over here. You just low-key diss me. I am a star. I said Miami Heat need a big star. Jimmy Butler's there.
No, he said
another star.
Another.
He said he needs another.
Another. One little word changes the respect in that sense. Put some respect on his name.
Yes.
He's Jimmy Buckets. First of all, Joel Embiid is probably the most unstable dude in the NBA. You talk about a mental case on the court. We don't watch this big African cry. Beat his own face up. He broke his own face this year. He broke his own face. Then he cried. Then he cried harder, saying it hurt when he cried. Stop breaking your face. I cried yesterday. Felt fine. Got a little wet. That's it. But I think that these guys are kids, right? They're still kids. So what they're doing is they're doing high school solicitation. They're walking the line of legalities as far as the league rules and like testing the waters, So because you got to realize in the offseason, Philly is a rough fan base to have when you lose big and you got to hang around Philly and see these people at clubs and different places. Philly rough, man. So I think he's just covering his bases in case he get to a point where he got to get out of there. That's called going shopping, soliciting. Hey, y'all need a star. Y'all good, man. Y'all just need a star.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you, Fig. Do you think that Joel Embiid is out there trying to throw his services out there to Miami on a down low? What you think?
Hey man, Miami got some nice weather and some nice scenery. Joel Embiid basically he went back to grammar school and he wrote a note that said, "Will you go with me? Yes, no, circle." and Eric supposed to say, maybe. Because he didn't want to get in trouble for tampering. So
right.
So Eric supposed to say, maybe. Pat Riley said, bring him to my office and I'll throw these rings on the table like I did with LeBron. And then we'll have Jimmy Buckets and the big crying African over here in Miami. And
Hilarious.
we'll make sure we send him some Deshaun Watson masseuse so he don't have to cry no more.
Yeah. Mike, I ain't gonna lie, Mike. I think he's throwing it out there. His services out there, letting people know that he wants to go to Miami.
I told y'all when he was sitting on the bench watching that team, he was thinking to himself, there ain't no way I can win a championship with this squad. He is Justin Timberlake. He's gone. You might as well just make it happen. Next year, if he plays, will be his last year. Unless some miracle the Sixers can pull off and get some superstar to play with him, which they're trying to get right now, he's gone. And Talon is right. This collusion that these NBA players do is so ridiculous. The fact that these cats really just tell people blatantly, hey, Miami needs another big star. Hey, I'm just here. I'm chilling if you need me.
Right.
Like the NBA is going to cut down on this, and they're going to start finding players a lot of money for this collusion. But he's gone. He's out.
Yeah. They definitely think they slick, man.
I think he's gone too. But the biggest Sixers fan on the panel, I want to ask you his thoughts right now because how you see it from your perspective. Do you think it's tampering? Do you think he's saying something? Because Joel Embiid is in the final year of his contract, bro. And normally people would be getting extended out. You know what I mean? He hasn't done that.
Well, Frank, I want to let you know that I'm a Sixers fan. And as a Sixers fan, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, like a used condom, he's off, but like herpes, well, he'll be back. Like, I think that this is a situation where Joel Embiid knows what Charles Barkley knew, knows what Allen Iverson knew, knows what, Dr. J knew. Philly is the town of potential. The only time Philly wins, really wins, is when Rocky Balboa gets written that way.
Right.
Bro, and this is my home, and I love it. But other than Boys the Men and cheesesteaks, how many undisputed titles do we have? And it's because people don't want to spend the money to get the pieces in place. So you got all these folks out here being emotional. So, and by the way, just for the record, the most unstable man in the NBA is Ben Simmons. Maybe you've heard of him.
I wonder what team he came from.
You belong to me. I belong to you.
I wonder what team he came from. Let me explain something about Philly. Philly don't ever want to spend no money. They won't even fix that damn bell.
To the end of the road.
And they pay you to go look at a broken bell. They make you pay. They make you pay. And you know what I love about
great hustle.
You know what I love about him bringing up Ben Simmons? You can't use him as a scapegoat this year, Embiid. You can't blame this all on him not dunking the basketball this year. Because that was a great scapegoat. And I told y'all the Sixers had bigger problems than Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons caught all the hell for them losing that playoff series. And they just got removed again the same round as they did when Ben Simmons was there.
If he had played 1 second.
Speaking of catching hell, I'm going to circle back and go to Brooklyn Nets because believe it or not, something that Mike said literally before we even started talking about the NBA season is literally about to come to fruition. Because now, if you look at it, the Brooklyn Nets are in danger of not having Kevin Durant, and now they're in danger of not having Kyrie Irving because it became official yesterday. The Brooklyn Nets have decided that they're unwilling to offer Kyrie Irving his long-term extension that he wants to get. And Brooklyn Nets has said officially that it looks like they're not going to do it. And if they don't do that, and KD's off the team, Brooklyn Nets literally won't have James Harden. They won't have KD. and obviously they won't have Kyrie. Literally what Mike said. He even predicted down to the time. Mike got to get kudos for that. How you think things going on right now with that?
That's good news for the ice skaters.
For the ice skaters?
Maybe we'll get some ice skating in Barclays now, you know? Because you can cancel Christmas and a basketball team. If all of that stuff you just said is gone, back to the drawing board. They did not build a stadium smack dab in the middle of downtown Brooklyn to implode this way. So, unlike Philly, look for Brooklyn. If these people are jumping ship, watch Brooklyn open up that wallet like they have done time and time again since they've been in Brooklyn. They ain't been in Brooklyn in a decade. But they've been opening that wallet like that. Go back to that girl with that side dude. That's number two. Number two got to spend more money than number one, right? Number one, he don't spend much money. Number one, she loves you. You can take her to White Castle. But number two,
Rodney Perry has joined the show. Rodney gave us his presence. Rodney Perry, how you doing, bro?
Hey man, I just touched down in New York City. I'm up here with JP Justice.
Hey,
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
I'm not gonna. JP want me to. Me and JP had.
Yo, what?
My bad. Me and JP just had a debate about KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane.
Rodney Perry's audio keep going in and out. So
yeah, went out again.
I got no calls today. The minute I come on here, they start calling.
Do not disturb Uncle Rodney. It's a little button. It's got like a crescent moon. You just hit that.
Shut your pie hole.
We're gonna come back to Rodney Perry. Jake, what you take of this, man? Kyrie Irving get a long-term contract, everything else, man. How you thinking about this, man? What you think?
Hey man, listen, man. Everybody, when you talk about jump ship, the people who really jumping ship is everybody that was on the Kyrie bandwagon. They jumping off left and right. Nike's jumping off. The Nets is jumping off. Kyrie is just having problem with organizations that start with the letter N. That's what his problem is, because they about to end his whole career with Nike and the Nets. And you know, at the end of the day, look, I can't blame a man for deciding not to take a vaccine. You know, that's your personal business. You made that personal choice. But if that was the only thing that was held against Kyrie, I don't think this would be as much as a problem as all of the other stuff that he did prior. Like Kyrie has a history of having problems with NBA teams. He started out when he was in Cleveland. He said, hey, look, I don't want to play with LeBron no more. Got him up out of there, sent him to Boston. He had problems with the Boston players. He was like, look, I'm tired of these young dudes. They don't understand me. They don't respect my authority. Guys behind up out of Boston. Then he goes with the Nets. He's like, look, I need to take some time off. I need to get my head right. I need to do this. I need to do that. And you find him on video doing this and that and that. You never know when Kyrie's going to show up to work. And you can't pay a man a max contract when he only played 60 games in his entire NBA career 2 times. Now you throw on the destroyer that broke the camel's back with the vaccine. They like, yo, man, we just can't handle this dude. Everywhere he goes, he's a problem. He's a box office ball player, though. He's got exceptional skills, but I don't know what he's going to do after he gets off the court.
Mike, Sean, your take.
I knew it was a problem when I heard that Kyrie Irving signed a sneaker deal with K-Swiss. I said, yeah, this ain't I said, this ain't I don't think this is looking good. Brooklyn, I will tell you about the Brooklyn Nets. They got a hell of a nerve. I know you can't rely on Kyrie Irving, and I know he's unreliable, but who are you going to replace him with? Like, exactly who are you going to replace? Who are you going to fill the stands with? And if you get rid of Kyrie Irving and don't re-up him, what are you going to tell Kevin Durant's passive-aggressive ass? You going to tell him who they going to get? What are you going to tell Kevin Durant then? Who are we bringing to play with him? What are you going to do? Like they're in a hell of a mess right now. And listen, man, God bless them. Good luck. Good luck. Go ahead.
Dave, your take.
Yeah. If Kyrie doesn't get what he wants, you might as well say goodbye to the 77ers. That's it. Y'all know that's my team. That's just the expansion pack. Let's not, if we've gone through this already, I'm not going to do it today. So y'all already know what it is. That's why this man's not talking. That's exactly why KD is not talking to the Nets front office, because you can't secure him the pieces he needs in order to win the championship. Listen, man. No. Immediately no.
Bro, let me tell you something, man. Rodney, agree with me on this, man. Riddle me this. Do you agree that if they lose one more player over at Brooklyn, the Barclays will be the first BYOB arena?
Rodney Perry, what's your take, man? Because the Brooklyn's not making an official offer, literally.
That's not completely true. I got an offer as I got off the plane today. I'll be joining the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm excited about it. I'm glad to get to break it on box seats. I'm really looking forward to playing with Kevin Durant, man, and it's going to be a great season. And I've already told them that even though I took the vaccine, that I won't be taking the vaccine.
Kevin Durant ain't gonna be there neither. Just want to give you the breaking news.
Oh, God.
Rodney Perry going to confuse the defense by insulting them.
Yo, the Brooklyn Nets won't be there, but you can get your tickets to see the Lion King.
off Broadway.
All right, so I got a little bit of time left. I want to see if I can squeeze this last little bit of time. I don't know if you guys saw this news, man. I'm gonna start with you with this one, T. Deshaun Watson jumped back in the news because on over the weekend, I think it was Monday, maybe Monday, HBO's Real Sports ended up interviewing two chicks who gave explicit details of what happened with Deshaun Watson. And T turns around out that he basically was telling them to massage his front. Like he laid out explicit details, everything else. And notice how, of course, Roger Goodell and the NFL is moving forward rather quickly to getting ready to put Deshaun Watson on some kind of hiatus. Remember how we talked about this before? When there's video, the NFL acts one way. When there's no video, now video is coming out of the accusers saying something. I think Deshaun Watson's gone for at least half the year because of this HBO Sports interview. That's my take. What you think, bro?
I agree, but there's a small price to pay. You've been in the news over the year now with this thing. You got to do something, and that's a slap on the wrist. Considering the contract he just signed, the amount of money over the amount of time, it's fair to me. And I want to depose these women. I want depositions from each woman myself, personally, in my lawyer's office, because who gets a massage and don't try to get the front done? Who gets a massage and don't try to get the front done? You ever notice something? There's no Asians in this lawsuit.
Not a one.
There's no Asians.
Not a one.
Because that's standard in Queens.
That's standard. All right, that's standard in Queens. All right, Fake, what's your take on this, bro? What you think? When the women came forward and they gave explicit details on Deshaun Watson about how literally what he did and everything else, it was kind of really embarrassing for the NFL. What's your take?
Man, I don't get it, man. I really don't. It was 22 women, and they interviewed 2. So what they did, they had everybody audition, and the 2 that could cry on cue is the 2 that they interviewed. You understand what I'm saying? I've been through the audition process. He's like, listen, can you cry on cue? And if you can cry on cue, you can get the job. And if you can't, then you can't get the job. So the 2 best criers is the one that they interviewed. And these women, man, you seen them, man. You saw it coming. It was like, yeah, and it was all right at first. And then he turned over and he said, touch me, Lord. And as soon as she said, touch me, Lord, that's when the tears came. I was like, oh, she's good. I was like, this girl needs to co-star next to Denzel because she's got it. She's a definite actress. I mean, she should win an Oscar. I don't know, man. Look,
Hey,
the sad thing about it is, and then I'm done. The sad thing about it is that the women who really have something done to them have been stained
I
by
agree.
the women who make stuff up.
Yeah.
And that's what's horrible. And the only way to stop it is once you find out that somebody lied, they have to get punished. And if they don't get punished, then you'll always have this murky water. And that's the sorry part about it.
Cloudy.
Cloudy. Yes, sir.
Cloudy water.
The sad part
should come down to if they did it or not.
Hold on. This sad part is that a bunch of men have already taken Deshaun Watson's side and don't know if these women are actually telling the truth.
True.
That's what's really messed up. And somewhere Baker Mayfield is sitting there going like, and y'all was mad because I had too many commercials. like, dog. If you really read the stupidity that Deshaun Watson took part in, I'm not saying he did it or didn't do it, but this man was worth $50-60 million was going to chicks' apartments and apartment complexes to go get massages. Now that's plain stupidity, yo. Like, you got to understand, you're the face of a franchise. You're an NFL quarterback. And now all of a sudden, did Rodney just take his shirt off and JP Justice is in the room with him?
Rodney, I want a massage.
You know what? Cut my comment. Go to Rodney. You explain to me.
I'm about to get up to Queens, guys. Hey, text me where that place is.
Why the Costco executive card though? Why you pull out the Costco card?
I might get a discount.
Hey, it's every store in East Elmhurst, Queen. All you gotta do is go to the middle of East Elmhurst. But here's my thing, and this may sound a little old school or chauvinistic, but here's my thing. When they're asking these women what happened, right? And the sexual aggravated part of he asked me to do blah blah blah. I think, and hey, people hate me, but I think the difference in that in a court case makes it different if that's where you drew the line, or if you did said act. Because to me, if you did said act with that kind of drug, that's lined up. I know we laughing and everything, but they bust these kind of massage parlors all the time that do these happy endings. So if you did it, I have less respect for that. You know what I mean? If you say, "Oh my God, I can't," I'm appalled, and you disrespected me, and you blatantly took your case up with somebody, that is how it should have been handled. But if you did it, and then after the fact, figure, you know what, class action, I'm coming out, let me get a few dollars. I have no respect for that. And like Vic said, there's a bunch of women out here who really going through this and need help and need people to protect them and stand up for them. And these people these money grabbers or these jumping on the class action to get a few dollars thing, you're putting taint on that. You're tainting that picture. And what's going to happen, the boy cried wolf. Eventually, the women who need us, we're not going to be there for.
Yeah, but tell it. What we keep saying the women that really have it happen. Well, guess what? When the women that really have it happen say something like this about an athlete, we ain't gonna believe them either.
Well,
let's Dave get his turn. Go ahead, Dave.
A couple of things. First of all, I do believe a few things about Deshaun Watson. The first is that he's a complete and utter moron, like most athletes are. Let's just call a spade a spade. We do not go to athletes and expect them to be Rhodes Scholars or Pulitzer Prize winners or Nobel Prize winners. So let's calm down on the alleged acumen that they have mentally off the field and off the court. That's point number one. Point number two is, he was stupid enough to go into apartments. When you have that type of money, you can get high-priced call girls. And even if you want to go to somebody's apartment, here's one for you, Frank. How about you get them a nice little $5 million non-disclosure? All of this in my book, 101 Easy Ways to Get Ish Done. So number 39 says, keep your private stuff private. And Deshaun Watson was an idiot. And the reason I don't believe these two women is because there's 22 accusers, right? In a country where if a black man whistles at a woman, something bad happens, right? Not one criminal police report was filed. Not one charge was brought up on him. A rich, prominent black man in athletics who ain't that bright. That's plum pickings for any law enforcement agency, whether it be blue, local, federal, or national.
Dave, what book was that again? You can shut up one more time.
100 Easy Ways to Get Ish Done. Work less, accomplish more. You can get this at businessbullyshow.com.
First of all, I got that book, and I'm appalled at the forward. The forward is done by Rodney Perry without a shirt on.
And speaking of Rodney Perry, with his shirt on, Rodney Perry, you get the last word today, bro. What's your take on this, man?
Well, you know what? Talon made a great point. He mentioned the tank, and I was just, do they charge extra for the tank?
Rodney, you only been in the Bronx for a little while, man, and you already got that nasty look on your face.
Hey, all just Deshaun Watson, as Mike Sean said, is in a world of trouble, man. But the good thing, he got guaranteed money, so you got to pay to play.
Yeah, you got to pay to play. You got to pay to play. All right, y'all. So that's the show, man. We had an excellent show today, man. Thank you all for tuning in, man. I'm gonna start with you, Rodney. Since you're in Brooklyn, what's going on this week? You're performing what?
Man, I'm doing shows everywhere. I got a show in Connecticut. I got a show at God damn it, in right here in I don't know where I'm at. I'm gonna be just.
You're in the Bronx, man. You're at Hunts Point.
I got you right here, brother. I got you right here. He's at Hunts Point in the Boogie Down Bronx.
Yes.
Tonight, one show is Saturday is the big show at Hunts Point with Jameek JP Justice. Going down. Actually, you're doing two shows, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. BYOB tickets are online at byobcomedy.eventbrite.com.
And since you're in Charlotte, T, everybody else was going down with you.
Well, I just found out that Grubhub I can order a massage. So I'm gonna do that. I'm at the place. I'm with my boy Tone X out here tonight. He got Laughing Up Thursdays at Stats. So we're doing a one nighter with Tone X over here. And I'm gonna meet up with the big homie Rodney Perry at the Stress Factory Sunday.
There it is, bully.
You ain't get my text?
Which one?
I'm not gonna be able to make it because my wife's making me come back home.
Oh, okay. So I should order two from Grubhub. So you gotta get this earlier.
No, everything on my end is good. Just enjoying the summer. About to hit the road. In the meantime, I am going to be actually in Orlando this weekend. I am doing Podfest. I'm doing FaithCon. Doing a talk on my book, Sell It Like Jesus: Principles and Strategies of the World's Greatest Salesman. Also available at fine bookstores everywhere and businessbullyshow.com. Follow me on all platforms at The Business Bully.
A lot of books, bro. How many books you got in Braille?
21.
You know,
21 books in Braille?
Yes.
Wow.
Sometimes I want to do a
Blind
show.
people need business too. Look at Stevie Wonder, businessman.
That nigga can see.
Sometimes I want to do a different show than sports because some news just pops up, just makes you go. First, Ray Liotta dies, and then Kevin Spacey gets charged with 4 counts of sexual assault in the UK.
It's going to be bangers and mash.
It's about
Kevin Spacey been touching little boys a long time.
Isn't he Catholic?
He was supposed to get in trouble last couple of years ago. Hold up, Frank. Did you get the story I sent to the box seats? The clip with Herschel Walker?
No, I gotta look at that.
You didn't see that?
Fake, we gotta play that tomorrow. Herschel Walker
is a wild boy.
Is real. CTE is real.
Yep,
I know this. Fig.
Listen, your boy Fig is with Rodney Perry and JP Justice tonight. 2 shows at Jazzy's Cabaret. That's in it's not New. It's New Haven. Yes, it is. It's New Haven, Connecticut. 2 shows tonight at Jazzy's, 6:30 and 9:30 p.m. Rodney is headlining. I'm gonna be on there, man, with my boy, man, my box seat boy. We gonna be hanging out tonight, Rodney.
Mike Sean, talk to me.
2 married dudes that gotta get home early.
Come out, Talent.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yo, I'm at the Punchline in Philly all weekend long, but I'm not gonna do the show until Talent actually makes his goddamn bed. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. That's the
Tennis
show.
racket. Tennis rackets.
That's the show, y'all. It's called Box Seats, where we comics, talk sports, everything else. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know who's hosting tomorrow because tomorrow. What day is tomorrow? Tomorrow's
Friday.
I forgot who hosts on Friday, but we'll figure it out offline. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We'll figure it out. The show's called Box Seats. Thank you all for watching. Peace.